Welcome, music lovers. Join us as we delve into the remarkable journey of a man whose musical talent transcended genres and left an enduring impact on the world of music, the legendary country music icon, Glen Campbell. So let's dive in. Glen Travis Campbell, born April 22, 1936 in Billstown, Arkansas, in the United States of America. Campbell was of Scottish descent and was the seventh son of 12 children to a poor sharecropper, John Wesley Campbell, and mother Carrie Dell Campbell. Campbell's early years were marked by hardship and near tragedy. As a toddler, he narrowly escaped death after nearly drowning in the Little Missouri River. Thanks to the quick actions of his brother Lindell, who resuscitated him, Campbell miraculously survived. Raised in a devout Church of Christ family in Arkansas, Campbell's upbringing was humble, with his family struggling to make ends meet on their farm. Despite their hardships, they persevered by growing crops like cotton, corn, watermelons, and potatoes. Money was scarce, and Campbell vividly remembered the challenges of those days, from the lack of electricity to the back-breaking work of picking cotton for meager wages. These formative experiences would shape Campbell's resilience and determination in his later life. From a tender age of 4, Campbell's musical journey began when his father gifted him a $5 guitar from Sears. Under the guidance of his Uncle Boo, Campbell quickly grasped the basics of guitar playing. Growing up in a musically inclined family, Campbell found himself immersed in a world of melodies and harmonies. By the age of 6, he was already showcasing his talent on local radio stations around town. In his youth, Campbell dedicated himself to playing guitar, honing his skills without any formal training. Despite his responsibilities in the cotton fields, Campbell found time to practice and refine his craft. Drawing inspiration from radio broadcasts and records, he admired legendary guitarist Django Reinhardt, considering him unparalleled in skill. Campbell's passion for music led him to drop out of school in the 10th grade at the age of 14, opting to work alongside his brothers in Houston. Initially, he worked in insulation installation before transitioning to a job at a gas station, all while nurturing his musical aspirations. Unfulfilled by manual labor, Campbell turned to music, performing at fairs, church events, and local radio stations. He showcased his talent by singing gospel hymns in the church choir and secured gigs at a Houston nightclub after his family relocated there. At 17, Campbell ventured to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to join his uncle's band, Dick Bills and the Sandia Mountain Boys. Alongside performing with the band, he made appearances on his uncle's radio show and on local television programs like K-Circle B Time. It was during this time that he met his first wife, whom he married at the age of 18 while she was 16. In 1958, Campbell established his own band, the Western Wranglers. They maintained a rigorous schedule, often performing 6 to 7 nights a week. At the time, Campbell's focus was primarily on the day-to-day demands of performing rather than pursuing specific aspirations or grand ambitions. In 1960, Campbell relocated to Los Angeles with aspirations of becoming a session musician. He quickly found work with the Champs in October of that year. By January 1961, Campbell secured a daytime job at American Music, where he wrote songs and recorded demos. His demo recordings garnered attention, leading to a high demand for his services as a session musician. Campbell soon became a prominent member of the Wrecking Crew, a renowned group of studio musicians. Campbell's musical prowess extended far and wide, gracing recordings by an impressive array of artists including the Beach Boys, Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra, and Ricky Nelson, among others. His versatile talent earned him collaborations with icons such as Dean Martin, Nat King Cole, and the Monkees. Campbell's instrumental contributions enriched tracks for legends like Nancy Sinatra, Merle Haggard, and Elvis Presley, with whom he developed a close friendship during the recording of Viva Las Vegas in 1964. Reflecting on their shared roots, Campbell remarked, "Elvis and I were brought up the same humble way, picking cotton and looking at the south end of a northbound mule." In May 1961, Campbell departed from the Champs and soon secured a record deal with Crest Records, a label under American Music. His solo debut, Turn Around Look at Me, garnered moderate success, reaching number 62 on the Hot 100 in 1961. However, a cover by the Vogues propelled the song to number 7 on the Hot 100 in 1968. Concurrently, Campbell formed the GCs alongside former bandmates from the Champs, gracing the stage at the Crossbow Inn in Van Nuys. The GCs released an instrumental single on Crest titled Buzzsaw, although it failed to chart. In 1962, Campbell signed with Capitol Records, marking a turning point in his career. While early singles like Too Late to Worry, Too Blue to Cry showed promise, subsequent releases struggled to gain momentum. Despite this, Campbell's versatile talent graced over 586 recorded songs by 1963. Remarkably, he achieved this without formal musical training, showcasing his innate ability on guitar, banjo, mandolin, and bass, despite being unable to read music. From 1964, Campbell ventured into television, appearing regularly on shows like Starroot, Shindig, and Hollywood Jamboree. He also toured with the Beach Boys from December 1964 to early March 1965, temporarily replacing Brian Wilson on bass guitar and contributing vocals. Collaborating with Wilson, he released "Guess I'm Dumb," a single praised for its arrangement but failed to make an impact on the charts. In 1965, Campbell achieved his biggest solo success with his rendition of Buffy Sainte-Marie's "Universal Soldier," which peaked at number 45 on the Hot 100 chart. Despite the song's pacifist message, Campbell expressed controversial views, suggesting harsh consequences for those opposing the draft. Concurrently, he maintained his role as a sought-after session musician, contributing guitar to notable albums such as The Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Additionally, Campbell toured with Rick Nelson in April 1966, showcasing his versatility by playing bass on the tour. In 1966, facing a possible drop from Capitol Records, Glen Campbell found success with producer Al DeLory, leading to hits like "Burning Bridges." Their collaboration peaked with the 1967 release of "Gentle on My Mind," followed by chart toppers like "By the Time I Get to Phoenix" and "Wichita Lineman" in 1968, dominating Billboard's Top 100 charts for 15 weeks, earning Campbell 4 Grammy Awards. In 1967, Glen Campbell sang lead on "My World Fell Down" by Sagittarius, hitting number 70 on Billboard. While his rendition of Jimmy Webb's "Wichita Lineman" soared, peaking at number 3 on the US pop chart and topping both the country and adult contemporary charts. In 1969, Campbell sang "True Grit," composed by Elmer Bernstein and Don Black for the film of the same name, which he co-starred in. The song earned nominations for both the Academy Award and the Golden Globe for Best Original Song. Following a successful summer replacement in 1968 for the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, he landed his own variety show, The Glen Campbell Goodtime Hour, which aired from 1969 to 1972. The show featured sketches by comedy greats like Steve Martin and Rob Reiner, and during his peak fame, a biography titled The Glen Campbell Story was published in 1970. Campbell welcomed music legends like Bread, The Monkees, Neil Diamond, Linda Ronstadt, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Roger Miller, and Mel Tillis on his music show. Campbell also helped kickstart the careers of Anne Murray and Jerry Reed, who were regulars on his program. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, Campbell released numerous singles and starred in 2 films, True Grit in 1969 and Norwood in 1970. After his CBS series ended in 1972, Campbell remained active on television, co-starring in TV movies like Strange Homecoming in 1974, and hosting various specials, including Down Home, Down Under in 1976, with Olivia Newton-John. He co-hosted the American Music Awards from 1976 to 1978 and headlined NBC's Glen Campbell, Back to Basics, in 1979, featuring guest stars Seals and Crofts and Brenda Lee. He made guest appearances on numerous talk and variety shows, including The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, Donnie and Marie, Cher, and The Merv Griffin Show. In the mid-1970s, Campbell scored major hits with Rhinestone Cowboy and Southern Nights, both reaching number 1 on the US charts, along with Sunflower and Country Boy You Got Your Feet in LA. Rhinestone Cowboy, one of his most iconic songs, sold over 2 million copies and continues to be featured in various TV shows and movies. Campbell's techno-pop version of the song in 2002, recorded with UK artists Ricky and Daz, also reached the top 10 in the UK charts. In January 1975, Campbell earned 4 gold records and a platinum award in Australia for sales surpassing $1 million. His hit, Southern Nights, featuring a memorable guitar lick introduction, became the most played jukebox number of 1977. Campbell also hosted the Los Angeles Open, a prestigious annual golf tournament, from 1971 to 1983. Campbell had a cameo and contributed the title song in Clint Eastwood's Any Which Way You Can in 1980, and hosted The Glen Campbell Music Show in 1982 to 1983. He quit smoking in March 1992, noting an improvement in his singing voice, and voiced Chanticleer in Don Bluth's Rock-a-Doodle in 1991. Campbell was featured on VH1's Behind the Music and A&E Network's Biography in 1999, followed by a PBS In Concert special in 2001. He also appeared on various CMT programs, including Their Greatest Men of Country Music. Campbell gave Alan Jackson his first big break through his music publishing business in the early 1990s and served as an inspiration to Keith Urban. In 2005, Campbell was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Returning to his signature label, Capitol, in April 2008, he released his new album, Meet Glen Campbell, on August 19. The album showcased a departure in musical style, featuring covers of tracks by artists such as Travis, U2, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Jackson Browne, and Foo Fighters. It marked Campbell's first release on Capitol in over 15 years, with contributions from musicians from Cheap Trick and Jellyfish. The first single, a cover of Green Day's Good Riddance Time of Your Life, debuted on radio in July 2008. In March 2010, a farewell album titled Ghost on the Canvas was announced, serving as a companion to Meet Glen Campbell in 2008. Following his late 2010 Alzheimer's diagnosis, Campbell embarked on a final goodbye tour, with 3 of his children joining him in his backup band. He was too ill to travel to Australia and New Zealand in the summer of 2012. His final show was on November 30, 2012, in Napa, California. After the tour, Campbell entered the studio in Nashville to record his final album, Adios, preserving what magic was left in his last recordings, according to his wife Kim. In January 2013, he recorded his final song, I'm Not Gonna Miss You, during his last sessions. The song was featured in the 2014 documentary Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me, which was released on September 30, 2014. On January 15, 2015, Campbell and fellow songwriter Julian Raymond were nominated for Best Original Song at the 87th Academy Awards. In March 2016, it was confirmed that Campbell was in the final stages of Alzheimer's disease. During the 10th annual ACM Honors on August 30, 2016, Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, and others paid tribute to Glen Campbell with a medley of his songs, while his wife Kim accepted the Career Achievement Award on his behalf. Alice Cooper hailed him as one of the top 5 guitarists in the music industry. Campbell's final album, Adios, featuring 12 tracks from his last recording sessions, was released on June 9, 2017. Adios was recognized as the best-selling country, Americana album of 2017 in Britain by the UK's official charts company. Personally, Campbell faced alcoholism and cocaine addiction issues in the 1970s. His 4th wife, Kim, played a pivotal role in helping him overcome these challenges, leading to his sobriety in 1987. However, he experienced a relapse in 2003, pleading guilty to drunk driving and leaving the scene of an accident in Arizona, resulting in a 10-day jail sentence. Campbell was married 4 times and had a total of 6 sons and 3 daughters. His first marriage was to Diane Marie Kirk in 1955, resulting in 2 children, Glenn Travis Campbell Jr. and Deborah Kay. Following their divorce in 1959, he wed Billie Jean Nunley in 1959, with whom he had 3 children, Kelly Glenn, William Travis, and Wesley Kane. His marriage to Billie Jean ended in divorce in 1976. Subsequently, Campbell married Sarah Jan Davis in 1976, but they divorced in 1980 after having 1 child named Dylan. Following his divorce from Davis, Campbell began a relationship with Tanya Tucker, a fellow country artist, marked by tabloid speculation. In 1982, he married Kimberly Woolen, with whom he had 3 children, Cal, Shannon, and Ashley, all of whom later joined him on stage during his tours starting in 2010. In June 2011, following the disclosure of his Alzheimer's disease diagnosis 6 months earlier, Campbell withdrew from a planned concert tour in Australia with Kenny Rogers. By 2014, he became a resident at an Alzheimer's long-term care and treatment facility. Sadly, on August 8, 2017, Campbell passed away in Nashville, Tennessee, at 81 years old. He was laid to rest in the Campbell Family Cemetery in Billstown, Arkansas. In June 2020, Kim Campbell, his wife of 34 years, released Gentle on My Mind, In Sickness and in Health, with Glen Campbell, a memoir chronicling their life together. And there you have it. As we conclude our tribute to Glen Campbell, we celebrate the enduring legacy of a true music legend. From his humble beginnings to his meteoric rise to fame, Campbell's timeless music continues to inspire and resonate with audiences worldwide. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.